The opposition is waging a war against the centre after the explosive report on the spyware Pegasus. First reported by Paris-based Forbidden Stories and Amnesty International, an explosive data leak has revealed that Pegasus, sold by the NSO group of Israel, may have been used to conduct surveillance on around 300 Indians.
भारतीय जनता पार्टी कांग्रेस पार्टी के सारे आरोपों को सिरे से खारिज करती है।
टेलीफोन टैपिंग की बात इतने दिनों से आ रही है, इस पर जरूर बात हो जानी चाहिए, चर्चा हो जानी चाहिए।
Hello everyone, I'm Maria Shakil. Bihar Chief Minister Nitish Kumar is known for his multiple flip-flops, unpredictable moves and unexpected stands, which come as a surprise to both his political rivals and also his supporters. Nitish Kumar has called those as voice of his conscience, but his detractors invariably say that is his conscience on call. So when he says yes to something, he has invariably said no to a move, and events unfold only later. Recently, he became the only BJP ally to demand an investigation into the Pegasus snooping scandal, standing with the Congress, the TMC and other opposition parties who have derailed the monsoon session of Parliament. So why did Nitish Kumar break ranks on such an issue? Was it such a critical issue for the people of Bihar for the Chief Minister to take such a stand at a time when his ally, the BJP, has not even acknowledged the gravity of the issue and has questioned the veracity of the leaks at multiple levels? A close aide of Nitish Kumar tells me that Nitish understands the ramifications of this move, just as any veteran politician would. He knows well the numerical weakness of the JDU in Bihar Assembly. Nitish isn't the Chief Minister because of his popularity, but because his alliance partner, the BJP, has nominated him. So why has Nitish Kumar taken such a stand? His party is also part of the current Council of Ministers of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Increasingly, he will be hardening his stand on a number of issues, is the word coming from Patna. But is it all building up to something? For the moment, no, because they say the previous JDU president was towing the line of the other side. In his long political career, spanning over 5 decades, Nitish Kumar has done multiple U-turns. In June of 2017, Bihar Chief Minister, then in an alliance with the Congress and the RJD, broke ranks and stood with the BJP to back the NDA presidential nominee Ramnath Kovind. That had upset the opposition's apple cart. Weeks later, he walked out of the alliance with the Mahagathbandhan, joined the BJP and continued as the Chief Minister. He in fact started building up to his exit from Mahagathbandhan in later part of 2016. In November 2016, he supported Prime Minister Narendra Modi's demonetization move at a time when other constituents of the Mahagathbandhan, that is the Congress and the RJD, had trained their guns against the government. Nitish Kumar had said that it was a courageous step, the one that will ensure crackdown on black money and corruption. 2 years later, in May 2018, Nitish questioned the benefits of the note ban. So, are these moves based on ideology or political expediency? If we look at the pattern, it is certainly the latter. Nitish has been one of the oldest allies of the BJP. In 1994, he broke away from the Janata Dal and formed the Samta Party with George Fernandes. 2 years later, he aligned with the BJP and went on to serve as ministers for railways and agriculture in multiple governments from 1998 to 2004 under Atal Bihari Vajpayee. Abrogation of Article 370 and commitment to build a Ram temple in Ayodhya have been the pillars on which the BJP was established in 1980. So when Nitish aligned with the BJP, he knew fully well their ideological commitment on these issues. multiple BJP manifestos have unequivocally spoken about their commitment on Ram Temple and also on other core issues. On Article 370, the JDU struck a reconciliatory note, saying that when the law has been passed, it should be abided by one and all. The party's Rajya Sabha MP, RCP Singh, went on to say that he does not want to indulge in any kind of ideological sparring and that it will have no bearing on the NDA in Bihar. On the issue of Ram Temple, in December 2018, the JDU said that it will not be backing its alliance partner, the BJP, if it were to bring an ordinance for an early construction of Ram Temple in Ayodhya. When the verdict came in November 2019, Nitish Kumar welcomed the Supreme Court judgment and also appealed to the citizens to maintain harmony. In January 2020, Bihar's Deputy Chief Minister Sushil Modi said that the NPR, that is the National Population Register exercise, would begin in the state. This was only displaying of their ideological commitment to the Hindu constituents. It did put Nitish Kumar in a tough spot. Although it is completely unrelated, he had said that there is no question of an NRC exercise in the state. The JDU, though, backed the BJP in the parliament over the Citizenship Amendment Act. But ever since, he has been saying that NRC will not be implemented in the state of Bihar. Nitish Kumar, while staying with the BJP, had always projected himself as a leader with secular credentials. But his political duplicity cannot be missed. In June 2013, during its national executive in Goa, the BJP elected Narendra Modi as their campaign committee chairman. A week later, Nitish broke alliance with the BJP, saying he cannot do Sauda with his Zamir. After facing a complete wipeout in 2014 Lok Sabha polls, he formed an alliance with Lalu Yadav and the Congress, and then Mahagathbandhan came into force in 2015. He became the chief minister again, but trouble began in this paradise when corruption charges started surfacing against Tejasvi Yadav, who was Nitish Kumar's deputy. Nitish first asked Lalu to ensure that Tejasvi steps down. When Tejasvi refused, and so did Lalu, Nitish broke alliance and returned to the BJP fold. Ironically, in the good old days, Nitish Kumar backed Lalu Yadav to the hilt when Lalu was facing challenges from within the Janata Dal before his coronation in 1990. Nitish played a crucial role in Lalu Yadav's victory, and when the outcome of the legislative party of the Janata Dal was announced, he was hoisted in the arms of his supporters. It was a joint slogan of Lalu Yadav Nitish Kumar that rent the air. But months after Lalu Yadav's swearing in on 10th of March 1990, the brothers fell apart. Lalu came more into his own, Nitish felt estranged and left out from the decision-making process, leading to the parting of ways. Nitish Kumar comes from the Kurmi caste, which commands just 6% of votes in Bihar. But his social engineering has meant that he has continued to rule the state for 16 years, and at the end of this tenure in 2025, he will be the longest serving chief minister of a Hindi belt state. So his actions are not without a reason. One of his trusted lieutenants highlight an episode during the Bihar polls. The entire BJP was demanding an action against the superintendent of police of Munger after a firing incident which had killed an 18-year-old during the immersion of a Durga idol. The SP in question was the former JDU president RCP Singh's daughter. Nitish Kumar did not align with the BJP in demanding action. He knew fully well that the BJP cadres were up in arms. Nitish has cultivated the image of being a man with an impeccable track record in governance. But does he really have an ideological commitment? Well, the Bihar Chief Minister at 70 has sent a consistent message that he believes in keeping his options open of jumping ships. So when he breaks rank and demands an investigation on the Pegasus snooping scandal, well, it may be too early to read that as some kind of shifting of sand, but can we say somewhere an hourglass has begun.